Hey, howdy, and hello, everybody. Welcome back to Face It League Season 9 Master Division. We have a long day ahead of us, ladies, gentlemen, and gamers of all ages. To start out this wonderful day, though, we have Extinction facing off against Iliad Artemis. And whether you are watching on the Extinction in a one channel or my own channel, Hyper the Worst, thank you so much. It genuinely means a lot to me. And as you could probably hear just a mere moment ago, it is going to be our opening map picked by Extinction, first banned from Extinction, as well as we head over to the ruins of Ilios. Extinction banning out the Mizuki first as well, followed up by the Cassidy ban by Iliad Artemis. Both of these squads having a good start to the season. Iliad Artemis 6 games in, currently sitting at 5-1. Extinction 4 games in, sitting at 3-1. So both squads looking ripe for the picking, not only to face off against each other, but just looking good as team play goes, honestly. As we'll be hopping into the gaming right away, gamers. Let's get excited for both of these squads to lock in. There's ice. There's ice. Snowl will be on the Widowmaker and hovering around like an owl due to Red X's cat being put into play here. And we're kicking things off extraordinarily fast-paced, fresh out of Dallas Fuel's victory in OWCS NA yesterday. A lot of these teams maybe going to be taking a bit of ideas from all of OWCS as a whole, not just NA, of course, but both of these teams locking the Diva, the Mizuki ban, the Cassidy ban, enabling a lot of that Diva, especially that Mizuki ban, as Amadu hits Snowl with a bike. One felony. Count it. Start the count now. Amadu finding the pick, the opening pick, as 20% have already gone the way of Iliad Artemis. Red X to find the pick onto Mardox, though. The first pick for Extinction. Carmez finds a follow-up onto Paintcare, but it's Amadu lighting up the kill feed, finding another kill with the bike on the Faruski, picking off Carmez as well. But with Red X and Santana to clean up the fight, that is going to be Extinction taking their first fight win and taking their first point. And now they look to go in. Amadu with another bike kill. I had to look at something for 2 seconds. But it's going to be Maverick with the follow-up onto Faruski. Now looking for more. The cat from Red X not quite hitting anything, but it does force Maverick to go haywire. Snowl is going to be on that Bastion now as the spree comes through from Amadu, but no picks directly from it. Cap still in favor of Extinction as Carmez's turn to go for it now, but has to be weary of the bomb. Floopy taken down though. Pardon as it is Santana who gets removed from the mech. Carmez eventually picked off as Mardox also did. Amadu 1 HP, the cat flying around. Red X does find the baby Diva, and Snowl is gone. Snell's gone. We're never gonna see them again. But Flumpy finding that nice boop pick, and it just had to be 68%, didn't it? It just had to be. It couldn't be any of the other funny numbers before and or after. Point though in favor right now completely of Iliad Artemis. Not quite in the lead yet as Snowl flies through the stratosphere. attached by, I almost said at the hip, but more so by the tether. But I mean, I'm certainly eliminating pain care, but the response is going to be swift from Maverick and Co. as the Curie ults both get mashed, but it'll be the beat from Floofy to help enable the rest of Iliad Artemis to go even further beyond. Red X falling low, being chased by Maverick, but Maverick has to give way. The cat too fast for eyes to see. Snowl hangs from a tree. Oh, okay, wait, no. I meant like like if Red X was a tree, it's tethered to Snowl. We're just gonna move past it because that sounded. All right, Overwatch. Santana has not got the ult quite online yet, is falling desperately low in the health department though. And now it's gonna be Faruski to try and find this ultimate. 97% counting. Does Extinction have a touch? They do find the touch. So now getting healed up by Red X as the cap will flip in Extinction's favor. Now another ult from Amadou headed straight to the back line, but the cat ult from Red X drags the Diva Bomb off the map instead. Oh my god, Red X right on the edge, right on the cusp, finding the pick onto Maverick. Snowl does go down, but it will be Extinction to win the fight. And now take a nice close look. Pain Care and Murdoch's both the last to fall. It'll have to be Floofy and Maverick to make the touch on the point. And they'll be without those members for but a moment or two. So they'll have the advantage, Extinction that is, in looking to get aggressive and looking to go further beyond as Snowl does to start out the fight. Now it's going to be Faruski to go for an ultimate of their own. Snowl pops the ultimate, doesn't find anything, but Santana does find a pick with the remech, rather with the bomb in the attempt to remech, but no retouch from Iliad Artemis and Extinction to take this first round of Ilios.
0-1.
I forgot to breathe that entire round. I'm going to collapse any moment. I think I was.
All systems fire, ready to engage.
But an electric first map round to be had here, and we'll get to see now if either team makes any adjustments, whether it be to composition or to the style in which they play said composition. I don't think it would be any type of absurd to see the same exact comps, except I do think we are going to see the way in which especially Iliad Artemis plays this composition get changed up. But Snowl instantly in the back line with the Red X Amato taken out, and that's a huge opening. Still 13 seconds at the time of the pick before the point even unlocks. Karmaz does stick to this OG Philadelphia Fusion skinned Symmetra though, which is a bit of a change up considering the type of composition they're running. It does help this bunker down point. It helps in the situation like that where the pressure is being put on, and along with that pressure you're going to have an insane amount of damage being absolutely pumped through unblocked by Maverick. Snowl finds themselves off the map. God rest Snowl's soul, as now it'll be Red X taking on the Bastion duties alone. Santana looking to get revved up on this point, but the entirety of Iliad Artemis have locked in, and they are the entirety of them are on point. But Maverick is cutting off Snowl from the front line, but Maverick falling so low, not quite having that ultimate online. Santana was 1% away from the ult. The pulse bomb onto Snowl brings Snowl low, but Pain Care's there to finish off the pick. Red X next, low on the health department, has the ultimate, but will allow themselves to get taken down and out. 48% on the counter. And we get to slow things down a little bit here. Pain Care, the only one to invest there. That's going to be Murdoch's to invest next. Karmaz finds themselves getting picked. Bomb out from Santana, but Santana themselves gets taken out. The ult from Snowl, not quite finding the value, but the follow-up will. Snowl falls from the sky just as fast as well, you'd expect a Lego Bastion to fall from the sky, as Red X isn't quite able to pick them back up in time. Maverick holds offensively here because they have the Diva Bomb. The TP will get temporarily denied, but now the wall to come out from Carmez across point. Setting up those turrets won't allow a soul in, like we're holding the bridge of Saving Private Ryan at this point. Maverick still has that bomb as the wall comes to an end. Red X will want to use that ultimate. Faruski maybe using that ult just a bit early, and Amadu engaging with the ultimate, assistant finding the pick on the Carmez. The ult comes out from Red X, drags Mardox kicking and screaming off the map, and Faruski to find two. Maverick, the baby Maverick, I suppose, and Floofy with Faruski to find a third, and the team kill bells ring out. And now we'll finally be seeing some adjustment here from the side of Iliad Artemis as they go to their own Cat Bastion composition. Amadu dead. No point talking about it. Maverick going over to Maverick going over to this. Where are you looking? Going. Oh, okay. Maverick also dead. No point talking about it. Now Santana putting the pressure onto Mardox, finding the picks and the trades, the swaps rather, from Iliad Artemis. Just too little, too late, as it's going to be Extinction taking map number 1 of Ilios. A good bit of fight being put up, albeit Iliad Artemis able to keep up, especially on that first map, a bit more, but come around to that second stage, just struggling a bit. Lighthouse putting up a bit of difficulties there as we get to see the workings of Extinction fully in tow. I mean, we can, stat wise, things look a lot closer than I think, especially that second stage went on to present themselves. Present itself as. There we go. We got it eventually. Now, however, it will be up to Iliad Artemis for both map pick and the first ban. Now, we've seen Extinction pull out a pretty consistent composition across most maps, I would say. We heard both from Faruski and Red X during their post-game interviews about how they look to use Santana and Dust and their similar, maybe similar tank pools, hero pools. Dust leaning a bit more toward the main tank. Santana more, I mean, both of them more than capable and able to play those more off-tank heroes like the Diva, like the Zarya, that kind of thing. Dust being a bit more focused on the main tanks, as you would like an Orisa or I mean, both of them got that monkey in them. But nonetheless, we've seen quite a lot of teams take Extinction to maps like Circuit Royale, and lo and behold, before I can even yap about it, Iliad Artemis make their decision, and we will indeed be going to Circuit. It's they say Royale, right? I'm not crazy. They say Royale, Circuit Royale. Anywho, it's gonna be the first ban from Iliad Artemis of a Kiriko. I honestly expected a bit of a change up, something that would change the style of what these teams played a bit more, but we'll just have to see how that affects them. The follow-up ban from Extinction is going to be the Freya. Ready for battle. Thank God. Hey, between you and me, that character, one of the more annoying ones. That really isn't, I don't know why that has to be between you and me, but I forgot what I was saying. I'm gonna be so honest. Oh yeah, no, Freya just like sucks to play against as a tank player. Like, so no Freya does mean that maybe Santana and perhaps the likes of the Symmetra composition can flourish a bit more. We see Painkare actually taking out the sim comp. It'll be Red X playing the Life Weaver. I love to see it. Painkare actually going back to spawn, as well as Azure changing over to the Orisa in May. So changing over to a more brawl style composition to try and out brawl this half brawl, half poke comp, if you will. Snowl in the air like an owl, going on the prowl, because they can't stand to have that much power. No, that doesn't. I give up. We're done. We're moving on. This far more poke comp that's being run by Extinction, purposely perhaps not playing the Sigma, even though we've heard from both Red X and the likes of Varuski that Santana's got a nasty Sig on them. It's gonna be more RAM. I think just in case of cases like this, we see Santana being pressured out, and if Santana was on a Sigma, it would be a whole lot of zip zero, nada, nothing, just dedge back and spawn. But because they're on the ram, they have the ability to go into this ram form, to use the slow to slow down this push, and to live. A huge engage though, as Shore goes straight to the back line, already having this ultimate online, but it'll be Karma's to fall first. And the space made from Azure there will be clean and plentiful. Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? Ref! 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 Azure is going all the way into new spawn, but we've seen the aggression that gets put on by the likes of teams in general lately. The aggression that gets shown, and look, because of this aggression that's being shown, whether it's because Red X wants to swap and intends to swap, or maybe force out some ults early before this next fight, the payload nonetheless will move at the same rate here with one player on it. But I mean, Azure uses the ultimate, looks to go even deeper. Snowl does find a pick onto Mardox. That's a huge pick. It's going to prevent the likes of Iliad Artemis from escaping too quickly, because they won't have the hyper ring. However, Red X does, like we talked about, make that swap over now to the Mizuki. Love me some Mizuki. A huge May wall, the whole kit and caboodle comes out, and how does that not land on Varuski? Scammed. And Karmaz also removed from the fight. I mean, this was a mess of a second point from the likes of Extinction. It can't be ignored. Iliad Artemis literally able to take it and run playing this composition. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw a composition swap. Pardon, from Extinction. And that's exactly what we will see. Varuski staying on this Baptiste, but for literally everyone else except for Red X, who had already swapped to the Miz that previous fight, it's going to be a swap up. I think this Symmetra could be the difference maker, but they're going to have to be cautious playing it against a May. The TP aggressively onto the height directly above this cart where it's moving. Santana actually gets revved, or Maywalled up as they get revved up. The ult from Mardox comes through, forces the rest of Extinction to take it slow, but the second it ends, Santana makes the engage. The ult comes through from Azure, and Santana's just going to be bumping in all the damage they can, but it'll be Snowl who falls on the blade first of Azure. Flumpy closing into that ultimate, not as close as Red X's though, but the cleanup is going to be there on aisle 3 being the third point. As someone is going to have to make a banger touch here from Extinction. Snowell's on the Widow. It's going to be really tough to even be okay. Well, you know, no one even touches. That is, you know, it's, listen. Let listen, listen, me and you, right? Listen, I might be the official co-streamer, caster, if you will, for Extinction here. But you can't really look past what just like that was a really good push. That was a really good push. When people talk about snowball, that's Iliad Artemis just did that. Okay, I'm done like ASMR in your ears. I don't know why I thought that'd be a good bit. Anywho, you know what they say, you miss 90, you miss all the, when you don't shoot, you can't hit. So I'll overshoot and maybe one day I'll hit. It'll be Extinction on the offense now. It'll be Extinction on the offense now, as this squad of Iliad Artemis with 3 minutes 16 seconds on the clock for their full push. It'll be tough to beat out. You see the likes of Iliad Artemis already kind of playing this composition that's geared toward both brawl and being weary of perhaps what might be, maybe, just maybe a Cat Bastion. Amadu taken to half HP merely instantly. Playing the Imre has that range to put pressure on both the Cat Bastion and, if needed, be able to play the brawl. Truly kind of one of those all-rounders. Better range than Cassidy, better close range than Ashe. So like kind of that in between. Why not just play a Sojourn? So Red X is gonna get taken down by Amadu on the Emry, and that's why they don't play the Sojourn. Pain Care, utilizing that May, will look to shut down anyone who remains. And I do think it will just be a bit rough around the edges here for this Extinction squad on their offense. I mean, they're sticking to this identical composition. They haven't changed anything yet, made any decisions to change anything. They feel confident enough to at least keep this moving with Carmez on the Bastion, Snowell on the Widow. I mean, yes, there is no shield for Iliad Artemis on the defense, but it's also going to be difficult to find an angle against how spread and how quick on their feet, light on their toes this Iliad Artemis squad is, especially when they use that hyper ring. Santana getting nanoed already at half HP though, pushing in for, he goes for the ultimate, finds the pick on Mardox, but the ult from Mardox will linger, will last. Santana falling low, but has the LOS of the rest of the squad in tow. Now the aggression will come out here as Red X slams down into the backline just the same time that Carmez gets slammed by a spear. Red X barely able to keep their Bastion of Carmez alive, but successful nonetheless. First cap going the way of this Extinction squad. Mardox does get taken down late, maybe a potential for a follow-up, but with that wall that will keep everyone safe. And Extinction looking to pace or outpace the side of Iliad Artemis now. But, I mean, again, it can't be ignored that it's going to be a tough call. Madu now switching over to the Sierra. We've seen the Sierra get used. I'd say, honestly, the team that I see it the most from is Iliad Artemis, especially on maps like Circuit Royale, to put pressure on the Cat Bastion especially. Now, this is, of course, the nerfed version of Sierra that came out just about a month ago or so. We see part of that ability from Sierra's tracking is what makes her so good, but Snowell finds the head, but Pain Care finds the swappage of the head. Is that a mating thing? Anyways, Azure will fall nonetheless. Floofy looks to find their pick, and it will be Faruski to finish them off, though. The innuendos are just absurd. I'm so sorry. I'm being so crass. Red X going deep into enemy territory with the now nanoed Carmes on the Bastion, mowing down Azure, looking for more now. A sim to come out from Painkare to try and get back faster. But 4 minutes, 12 seconds as the cart begins to trot its way forward. And Extinction, so far, I'm not going to finish that sentence because the whole, Caster's Curse situation. Amaru and Painkare both swapping it up quite drastically onto the Cassidy and onto the Tracer. I do understand the swaps. They're just a bit intriguing. Especially, I'd say the Cassidy moreover. Oh, the ult to come out from Azure though, not quite. What? Did Red X drop Carmes? Or what happened there? The spin from Azure into the backline of Faruski will take them out. And this is what Extinction failed to do. And even Santana being staggered here. But this is what Extinction failed to do. They failed to stop that snowball. And once that snowball is stopped, we see Snowell off the Widow onto the Sojourn already. We see this positioning from Azure very, very far up. And, I mean, the ult bank. Marduk's going to pop the ultimate, even though Floofy already fell. Faruski will get traded, though. Santana to go in deep with this ultimate. But, the squadrons have split. As Carmes will find Painkare in the back line. Azure to fall as well. But it will be a bit of a taxi. Taxi! Thank you. I mean, and God forbid the taxi prices nowadays. Am I right, fellas? Red X taxi service, an absurd fee. Santana falls so low because of that said fee as Azure looks to walk in, having another ultimate online. Carmes pops the ultimate and the Mizuki ultimate from Floofy in response to the ult, but Faruski walks into the LOS to try and kill the sleep that they landed onto Painkare. It will be the follow-up picks here coming through, but not enough and not in time. Carmes does what I wish I could do while I was at work today. Red X nonetheless will have this ultimate online for Ruski as well. Now we'll soon to have the ult, and I presume Red X either just you're either a cat player or you get played by the cat, such as a fart smeller or a smart fella. This deep engage and almost map reversal here coming through from Red X, Carmes, and Santana, as now Carmes getting dragged out into the open, gets the nano though, looks to go into this backline, but instantly Faruski, Red X, and Santana all to fall. Carmes will try and find what they can. But gamers, we're looking low on the time here. 1 minute, 5 seconds remain. Red X did not ultimate. Did not use their ultimate. That fight, my brain is, I'm thinking too fast than my mouth can move. Carmes playing a bit of mystery heroes, going over to now what, Faruski caught that one like it was a football and not the World Cup kind. Painkare and Carmes dueling it out though. It was kind of a wicked Tracer duel, I won't lie to you. Santana on the Diva, 30 away from Bomba. Red X taken out already into this fight, still just trying to find value with that ultimate, but just going too deep. Amadu's gonna go on the flank here and will find Faruski not quite ready. The flash comes through. Floofy gets antied, but Faruski will fall into the what is that? That just feels disrespectful. Red X, by the way, still has the ultimate, but we'll see. Perhaps they can utilize it to get a touch if needed. Look what the cat dragged off. Get it? Because why was the scream so loud? That was genuinely scary. As Snowell goes for the ultimate, will try and get a final touch, but it just will be for naught. And it will be Iliad Artemis to absolutely obliterate on Circuit Royale. I mean, this really, it's tough out there. It's tough to try and word it another way. I mean, that was 3 minutes 13 seconds left on I mean, just left on the clock after the offense from the side. Excuse me, we will go. I'll allow you to see the scoreboard here, the post-game scoreboard, if I don't alt tab. But I mean, it was a rough go of it for Extinction there. Truly, Iliad Artemis just able to take full control of Circuit Royale, it being their map pick, their first ban. So we'll have to see now what shall occur next. It will be Extinction's map pick and first ban. And keep in mind, folks, whether you're watching on the Extinction stream or my own, I myself will be casting 2 more matches directly after this first match. So if you think this one's a banger, next up we have Tanuki versus Leica. After that, we have Lazarus Surge facing off against Exile Esports to is a nice cooldown, I suppose. But it's gonna be a nice night of casting. I think the equally as long as one other day during the week, but I'll be here every single day of this week, live casting some way or another, or at the very least playing. The only day that might seem questionable whether we cast is going to be Tuesday, tomorrow, but more than likely we'll end up casting something, and if not, we'll be playing something. But make sure after you don't go anywhere, you head over and hang out, because we got those other games to cast as well. But we're here, we're now, that's what we got to focus on. And speaking of here and now, we're headed to sunny Suravasa. And the first ban from Extinction going to be the Zarya. That follow-up ban going to be the Reaper. An interesting response of a ban from Iliad Artemis. And I'm quite keen on seeing here the game plan, right? We know typically, like Faruski and Redx told us, that Extinction plays particular tanks on particular maps. New Junk City, if I am remembering correctly, is a more Extinction oriented dust in play map. That being said, we're most likely seeing the Zarya ban come out so that the Mauga gets play when dust comes in, or maybe we're gonna see like some funky Reinhardt stuff. I don't know, bro. That would be kind of wicked though. You know, Dust, if you're watching, you and me go way back. Pull it out. Hold on, wait, hold on. Wait. Wait a second. Pull out the Reinhardt. That's, oh God, we have another situation of pulling my funny out. Anyhow, as the teams look to get settled, as we look to head in to map number 3, things are all tied up 1-1 on Ilios. We saw Extinction sweep 2-0, although not a hard sweep. Iliad able to win out. I believe it was 2 fights, both stages of Ruins and Lighthouse. So as we headed to Circuit Royale, Iliad Artemis took the game into their hands. That's truly the only way to put it. And now, heading into what is now Extinction's map pick and first ban once again, we're headed to New Junk City. where it is that Zarya ban followed up by the Iliad Artemis ban. We will see Maverick still kicking here, and Dust will be coming in from the side of Santana for the first time this series. So very intrigued as to more than likely I'd say we'll see the Malga mirror from both of these teams, but Dust right now showing a little bit of the horse. I'm off the rails today, team. Amadu, though, will be on the motorcycle, rather, as Painkare will be on the Vendetta. So maybe trying to... Vendetta often used to kind of both play counter Cat and counter Symmetra at the same time with that burst ability. Literally, the ability for Vendetta to burst. Maverick going to be on... Or going for the slam in the backline, actually. Does get temporarily held up by Snowell's flash and then cut down, just going in a little too deep. And now Faruski with that follow-up onto Floomfy. It'll be Extinction to take this first flashpoint. That bike got flashed, though. I mean, like 100%. They should add that as a feat. If you flash the bike should have... Wait a minute, the bike should have health. Blizzard, if you're listening, I got ideas. Hire me. I would love to not work IT. Karmas, though, would also like some assistance, as Amadu will just instantly burst them down. Maverick looking for an engage, looking a little too hard, perhaps. 1 HP will go down, but Amadu finds the pick onto Snowell. Painkare to follow. Dust hit by a motorcycle, but will not fall quite yet. Either team thinks that this is still winnable, with the ult from Mardox coming in as Dust looks for a bit of a retreat. Red X goes for the ult, not quite landing it onto Floomfy, the Lucio of Iliad Artemis, as now Dust will commit that ultimate, find Floomfy. Karmas commits a felony. Amadu goes down, pawed away, if you will, and the slam from Maverick on the Faruski will be electric. However, it is a team kill, and it will be no one to be able to touch here from the side of Iliad Artemis. So first cap handily, 100-0 going the way of Extinction. I mean, we truly are seeing the map pick and first ban. Maybe it's too soon, but we're seeing it go one way or another, depending on who has that ban prio, who has that map pick prio. Painkare now on to the Genji. Able to put a bit more pressure onto Snowell and Karma, as well, also perhaps a bit more survivable without that all-in. But it'll be Amadu who does go all-in, uses the spree. Snowell getting the wraparound, the beat to come through from Floomfy will temporarily aid the rest of Iliad Artemis, but with Karma's going down, Iliad Artemis looks on the up. Amadu finding that opening pick could be that lifesaver that Iliad Artemis need to open up this point, and it will be just that, as Dust and Co shall move themselves out away from the point. First cap already ticking upwards in favor of Iliad Artemis. Maverick will have Cage, Faruski, Dust, Karmas all to have their own ult online, but Redix to go down before the fight's even begun. Dust posthumously kind of walks into that one, but a huge pull, and Suzu as Mardox and Maverick both to fall. Snowell desperately needing assistance, but Painkare has that on lock. Snowell going down, TP used. Painkare has the reaction time similar to that of me. That is, I mean, you know what? No, I mean that in a good way, because I have incredible reaction time. Anyways, Paincare's dead. Dust finding the spear. And now we do have funny number on the screen. Everyone point and laugh now. Thank you. As Mardox falls incredibly late into this fight. Just no TP online. The spear can't stop the unstoppable force of the stomping Malga, but it does do the damage to assist and chunking down the armor, and Amadu to fall even later, or at this rate earlier. Red X, Snowell, Karma's all to have those ults online. Mardox, though, to have the ult before Faruski here because of those mismatched ultimates will be huge. The Suzu gets used, but Snowell still flying high, finds a pick alongside Karma's ultimate as well. It will be Maverick to make their way initially onto point, but then quickly off of it. Red X falling so low, but gets the help, gets saved by Faruski. And now second point also going the way of this Extinction squad map point. Now one more flashpoint on lock, and we do see a bit of a flank here. Amadu goes in deep, instantly finds Snowell, and that's the opening that this squad can need. But Amadu gets stuck out in the open, hung out to dry. Can they find the pick on the Red X? Yes, they do. A beautiful dink onto them, and the cleanup will be there for Iliad Artemis to once again find a first cap, but this time very dominantly so, being able to catch off Extinction with a bit of an early fight, catching them off guard. Mardox still has that Kyriel online, but now Faruski's caught up to them. So it'll be a matter of who can utilize that Kyriel better. And I will say a beat here goes hard. And the blade with the Kyriel, it's looking mighty fine. Okay, so Pain Care set, so no beat. Faruski will go for the ultimate, and Mardox will lock it. But Floopy gets speared out of the ultimate, the Ajax of all Ajaxes. That is the worst case scenario. That's worse than Pain Care dying. That's worse than Maverick dying first. That is truly worst case scenario. Now you've used both support ults in both support ults for one ult. Faruski is the only one who mashed it. Now Snowell going deep, Floopy dead again, just like really feeling the pain. The grapple just in the nick of time. Pain Care tries to find picks with the blade. It'll be Dust though who deflects that. What is that? What is that? Maybe to save themselves? They thought they were gonna die? I don't know. Okay, they still die anyways. Maverick down. Faruski traded though. Red X going for the ult, finds Pain Care getting shot at, but it's Snowell and Karmas with the assist. Dust back on the Mr. Fister, the Doom Fist. One punch himself. The bike just hit Snowell midair. That was genuinely impressive. Madu is wild at this Shion character. But there's gonna have to be some more wild stops taken out here. Dust wants to try and make their way out, but Dust is trapped in the backline here. Karmas will have the ultimate. Map will get flipped here as the rest of the squad looks to line up alongside Dust and not at least prevent him from dying alone. Snowell has the ultimate. Amadu to go deep with the ultimate, finding Karmas before Karmas can go for an ultimate of themselves. And now it's Operation Reset from the side of Extinction. I say that as a pick comes onto Pain Care and Amadu. Now even are both of these teams. Mardox getting pressured out by Dust. TP used. Point flipping now. What's that sound? Karmas back with the ultimate. Looking to go deep now into enemy territory. Can they find success against the likes of Mardox's ultimate? It'll be Snowell who finds themselves getting taken down though. And it's gonna have to be a reset now or don't. I don't know where I was going with that, honestly, but Amadu assisting the cleanup. And I do think there will be the ability for a touch here. Maybe not. No, there will not be a touch here. Extinction letting them have it, instead guaranteeing themselves not only this the pre-positioning of this point, but also this insane ult economy advantage that they have going into this fight. They can pop something like Faruski's ultimate incredibly early here, and it can pay off dividends because they can have another one by the time Mardox gets theirs. Floofy will have the beat. Red X has the ult. Maybe Dust can force another Ajax here. That's gonna be like going back though, going for the kite onto the rest of the team. And it'll be Maverick to get hauled off the map. Like they're moving to a different country at this point. You're not just taking a U-Haul, you're taking a whole damn shipping container. Amadu, though, wants to ship Extinction back to where they came from, finding 3 and helping to win this fight, trading 2 ults for 2 ults. A beautiful fight from Iliad Artemis. Ulting second, even losing their tank to start off the fight after using beat. But thanks to Amadu, Engage, and the rest of the squad of Iliad Artemis able to follow up, it will be an early engage. Karma is getting solo caged. The poor fella. Karma is taken down. The point almost flipping in favor of Extinction. The ult gonna be big. Suzu gets forced. Snowball goes for a flight, and it'll be a Spirit Airlines for Iliad Artemis because they come crashing down. Faruski does fall, but it's going to be just Mardox's ult alongside Paincare's ult going in to this next fight. Red X close to that ultimate alongside Karmez, who's 40 away. Maverick on the Diva now. It'll just be a hard engage straight down main as Dust up and away they go. See ya, Dust. Faruski taken out as Dust gets airlifted like you would someone from Mount Everest back down to the bottom. Amadu, I mean, count the felonies are very high. Like, this is a problem now from Amadu. Very genuinely like insane on the Xion. Karmez, though, looking to match the ultimate, now outpacing the ultimate gain of Amadu. Faruski and Murdoch's quite close on that, but with the assistance of of a bullet train of Red X, it'll be the U-Haul lifting Dust to the point, capping the point, but just a good old-fashioned reset here. Red X actually hovering around, healing Dust up. Point will flip back in favor. Maybe they're going to try and get out with their lives here. They have the possibility. They try and actually go for a touch here, but it will just be insta-death. Yeah, no, it'll be insta-death, yeah. Tied up 2-2. Iliad Artemis able to really change this around. And not only changed, I mean, they've they've come back from 2-0 to now 2-2. But we'll get to see now a different composition in play. Dust taking the shield perk. Actually, that's very intriguing to me, taking the shield perk instead of wanting to keep the spin against a Tracer, against a Diva, against Amadu, especially on the Xion. Both Xions trading ultimates. The ult to get used by Dust, but it slams down, not quite able to find anything. Mardox falls, as does Red X. Faruski's ultimate trying to find its value. Dust will find part of that value, and this is when you really wish maybe you had that spin, or actually shield dancing does do the trick here, like good old Overwatch 1. Flumpy 1 HP taken out by Karmez, who's made a grand re-entrance into this fight, taking out both supports and gamers. That was just the first fight of this final point, excuse me. It seemed like it lasted forever. So many ultimates did in fact get used. 3 for the side of Iliad Artemis, and that would be, it was 3 if not 4 for Extinction. I believe 3. I believe it was also 3. But Red X soon to have the ultimate online. Snowball going for the ult. The pulse bomb gets used. Dust left out to dry, though, withering away, just like the namesake. Unfortunately, us Orisa players, we just get too much hate. You know, it's just it is what it is. But speaking of it is what it is. It'll have to be Extinction to make a swap of their own for the second time this map. We have funny number. Am I right, fellas? Now, Snowball sticking to this Cassidy, but some big swaps otherwise. Karmez now over on to the Symmetra. Dust on to, Dust over onto the Ramatra, but Karmez cut down. Dust swinging away at Flumpy, finding the pick. And that's going to leave an opening here. Although Karmez is down, that will leave a bit of that pace, a bit of that tempo open for the likes of Extinction to try and take advantage of. Maverick, 1 HP, doesn't quite have the bomb, can't go too aggressive quite yet. Faruski, 30% away from an ultimate of their own. Gonna be lapping Mardox, at least getting that ultimate faster here, but it'll be Red X to die first. Snowell in the backline. The Suzu is big. The TP is huge as well, as it'll allow them to live. They'll go quick on the draw, but Snowell won't be able to find the pick. Amadu will get traded as Karmas finds that pick, but the remake kill onto Faruski, and just the most unfortunate timings, the unfortunate moments, but the perfect plays. Is it a pause? Oop. Oh, Faruski lagged out. Oh no. My bad. Wrong docs. Even though you might be in the past regime. Thank you for the follow, homie. Much love. I can't wait to cast you. But hopefully Faruski makes it back in time. It seems like that is a internet issue, as I believe I have Faruski. Yeah, so it never said they stopped playing Overwatch. That's the problem. Puppy Girl has stopped and started playing Overwatch. Who is that? Who is Puppy Girl? Unfortunately for Extinction, this fight was already over. Oh, I guess honestly, no, more so fortunately, truthfully. I think it's more so on that fortunately side, because that enables, or not enables. There's nothing lost. The fight was already over. It was already cooked. The fight was lost. No one could touch, even if Faruski was alive. Red X with the play, but the reverse sweep on Suravasa. The reverse sweep on Suravasa that's gonna sting a little. That is gonna sting a little. That was Extinction's map pick first ban, so now Extinction are gonna have to win 2 in a row here. They're gonna have to win 2 in a row. And at that, both of them are going to have to be the first bans of the side, or rather, this first game, I suppose, is going to be the first ban of Extinction. Fingers crossed that Faruski is back in the nick of time. Good news is they can kind of use the timing of choosing maps, choosing lineup to take their time with it. Also the time to connect as well. Although by then you hopefully have things adjusted and changed just a bit. And all right. Mid-cast, I just got a heater of a DM, okay? Stop everything you're doing right now. This series is going fantastically. I love both of this matchup. This is a joy to watch. I have received breaking news, okay? Regime has gotten back to me about Attack on Titan, all right? All right? Now, if you have not seen Season 4, turn off your ears for the next 20 seconds. I'm leaking DMs. I'm leaking DMs. I'm gonna be that guy. And I quote, Regime says, "It took some time to get used to Season 4, but I ended up finishing. Beautiful ending. It's like you can side with both sides. I understand Aaron, but I just don't. And I support the Jaegerists and Paradis, but still hate Marley." Attack on Titan is a brilliant, absolutely insane piece of media, and it's not Overwatch, and maybe I shouldn't be talking about it right now, but like there's a reason. But I think I like Attack on Titan. There's also 2 posters on the wall that you can't see, but just the moral dilemma that Attack on Titan, especially Season 4, presents you with, moral, ethical, and the cross referencing of real life with the absurdism of Attack on Titan, but still the somehow realism that it has. Anyways, enough about Attack on Titan. Let's talk about the match on our hands. I'm sorry. Absolutely wicked, though. I'm gonna have to shoot Regime at the end as soon as I can about that. But I couldn't agree more. Anyways, let's lock back in here. Let's lock back in here. It is going to be us headed to King's Row. We will indeed be it looks like both teams are it's actually, this is really cool. I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but it looked as if both teams were purposely waiting out the timer for as long as possible. And that's just like, that's good competitive spirit. That's passion. That's integrity. I love that. That's awesome. It doesn't get much better than that. As I was saying, lineups become finalized and we will be headed to our map pick. Extinction's map pick, I should say. I don't know why I said our. Wait. I just realized that wasn't Saravasa that we just went to. That was New Junk City. I am 99.9% sure it said on Face It Saravasa. Huh. Intriguing. Either I have brainworms or Face It lied to me, and it's probably the former. But now I do know, because I saw it with my own eyes, it will be Extinction taking us to King's Row. As well as the ban. Oh, maybe not. We are headed back to hold. So, you know, while we take this momentary break, I will utilize I don't want to talk about the bands because the bands could have been what was wrong, because one of the bands was very interesting. I've never seen something quite like it before. Okay, that makes more sense. We are not going to King's Row. We are not going to King's Row. We are instead going to Runa Sapi. Okay, I'm pretty sure I wasn't going insane then. No, it says New Junk City. I think I was just going insane. Cool. Okay. Interesting looks from Prod as we go back to the lobby again. Yeah, I don't know what Prod is up to. Can we get this moving? I'm Prod too. You know what, let's just take away the map and let's just go. Let's just talk, you and I, and Bald Hyper too. Can't forget about him. We should be hopping in any second to the next map. 2-1 right now in favor of Iliad Artemis. Iliad Artemis having an absolutely wicked comeback on New Junk City. Let's talk a bit about how that came to be, shall we? Extinction started out on the same composition they stayed until the final point, which was that Orisa comp, and Snowl on the Cassidy, Red X on the Cat, Faruski playing the Kiri, and Karmaz playing that Shion. And it was working quite well, simply put, until it wasn't. As soon as Maverick was finally able to find an in playing that Malga comp and that Lucio Kiri comp being played alongside it with the, if I remember correctly, it switched between a Genji, a Tracer, and a Xion. Playing kind of in between those, once that footing was found, literally as Malga does, the footing, because he runs and he stops. Once the running and the stomping was able to be done continually, things got very, very easy. Easy is easy. No, that's a harsh way of wording it. Also incorrect. Things just finally started to turn around. For Iliad Artemis, they were able to find fights that were more their tempo. They were able to place the fights in places where they wanted the fights to be, and because of that, were able to do things like we saw, I believe, after they capped their first Flashpoint objective. We saw them take this fight using Amaru's ultimate in the rotation, while Extinction went from one point to the other. And because of that, they were able to get the first cap and then continue to win that Flashpoint from there. And it was fights like that where Extinction might have tried to force a fight at a certain angle or at a certain place, but Iliad Artemis had more of that tempo control, whether that was because of playing the Lucio or because of playing the Malga. I think it ended up turning in their favor, and they were able to pull through because of it. Now, we do actually, maybe, I don't want to jump the gun, but I do think we are headed to the map pick. It is Extinction's map pick. That is not in first ban. That is not arguable. That is just factoid, right? And I do think it is Runasapi, because Runasapi has been, it's showing up in this lobby yet again. So good news there. At least we know where we're going map wise. Other than that, anybody's game. But I do wonder, heading to Runasapi, if Santana will, because we've seen both Dust and Santana play the Malga. If I am remembering correctly, we typically see Dust playing the Runasapi, playing the push, so far that we've seen. So we've seen everything from Dust as well, from a Zarya to a Sig to a Rissa to Malga, I believe, all on Runasapi alone. Maybe even a Ball, actually. I can't recall 100%, but maybe it was to stall or something. Nevertheless, initiating match. We are headed in here. Thank God. Again, pardon me. And it will be. Let me ask to make sure. Actually, I know the answer to it already. But I will ask just to make sure. It was indeed first ban for Extinction, as I've said, I think 9 times since the last map, the Sigma. And the follow-up ban from Iliad Artemis, putting perhaps a bit of a dent in the plans, but I think at this point in time has to be expected, the Jetpack Cat ban.
5, 4, 3.
So we'll be heading in to the thick of it here. As both of these teams look to lock in, it will be match point here for Iliad Artemis. Azure back in Pain Care, playing the Reaper guy who can do the spinny thing. You know that one? It will be the Xion as well, being played by Amadu. Parmez playing this Mei though. I really like the Mei pick. against this comp. Do they know? Do they know about pain care? I don't think so. Karmez gets taken down first though, no ice block, and right now it's a struggle for power. It's Extinction who wanted to force out cooldowns first. They wanted to force bubbles. They wanted to force some type of aggression and not have to go first, not have to use a cooldown first. But unfortunately for them, I mean, Iliad Artemis is playing that perfectly. Pain Care got set up in that corner and was able to put extra pressure onto Dust. Karmez had that ice block forced early as well. Now the off angle from Amadou. There's not going to be too much pressure able to be put on here. Snowell kind of turning a blind eye to it, keeping their focus straight down main. Floomfy low. Still this off angle being played by Amadou. The bike to hit like a pebble and go off, I guess. Dust puts the pressure onto point, but can't quite keep up with the heat that the Reaper is putting in here. It'll be now a pretty disgustingly large engage. A lot of space quickly taken, map quickly flipped entirely though by these squads. Faruski to pop that ultimate first. The cross section occurs, but Amadou has the ultimate online. Faruski's down. There has to be a trade. There has to be multiple now, but Amadou, yet another felony, and the cleanup will be there to follow up the felon. As the spree continues, not just for Amadou, but for Iliad Artemis. First cap going their favor. And harsh looks so far for Extinction. It'll be the early ult to come out from Snowell, sliding in. And because of just how early it was, the majority of the members just get to walk out. The grab comes through. The Reaper makes an entrance. But will they get value? They do find Snowell, but the trade is there. But with just Dust remaining, as I lick my lips because my lips were dry. Honestly, I don't have a pun. Amadou over half to another ultimate. Marduk's 70 on their next Curie ult. That could be the difference maker in this case scenario. Having that Curie ult significantly faster. Now 15-20% faster. Dust does go for the ultimate. Marduk's falling low. The bubble gets used by Azure onto Pain Care. Floofy absolute, but the pick is finally in Extinction's favor. And so is the bot, as Extinction kind of just walk away with it. Amadou pokes their noggin out. Not quite able to find a pick yet, but with Marduk's ult, Faruski still being just a wink off of it. It'll be the ult pop, but Red X to fall, and that Lucio not able to keep up with Amadou's ultimate. The spree being perfectly used and abused. Amadou's forward positioning as well, not doing any favors, but Dust is doing some favors as Azure's head gets removed. Amadou does find Snowell, which could be bad news bears, but Karmez on the Reaper. The Reaper guy finds 3, finds 4, and it'll be Extinction to hope to take some control. But truthfully, the entire fate of this next half of this map, the next 5 minutes, could be determined by this singular fight. Snowell, OC, slides in, Floopy down, gets TP'd on, but Amadou cut down. Now Marduk's next on the chopping block, eliminated. And Azure just looking to find a clean slate, low on health, but able to find their way out. And holy Snowell, cinematic Snowell. Right when the team is in need of a solid fight win, not only does it push back those spawns from Iliad Artemis, giving an opportunity here for Extinction to start making some pace. It also assists in that ult economy, but that sure doesn't. Karmaz falls first to just some poke going for the TP. The grab gets yeeted in there, so close to the beat, it might get forced. They decide not to use it to save Faruski. I mean, honestly, if they can live here, not a bad play. Dust is dead. No, they're dead. They're just dead. Okay. Wait, Red X might just be, Red X is him. Red X is just him. Red X stalled out long enough. Don't talk about Snapple. We don't see that. Red X just able to stall out long enough for Dust to be able to escape. And it will be the close spawn retaketh here. Oh, but Snell going down early doesn't do any wonders. It'll be 4 ults online here for Iliad Artemis. Painkare looks to go aggressive. The beat, the counter beat, the Reaper ult, the counter Reaper ult, the cage, the Amadu ultimate. Good God, when does it end? The Suzu gets used. Faruski trying to stay on point for as long as they possibly can. And Karmaz, the last to fall. Dust will make the swap over to the Zarya. And now the question on everybody's mind is is Dust gonna be able to get these perks online on Zarya soon enough to be able to help Karmaz enough on the engage? And so far the answer is no. Karmaz immediately shut down. Painkare 2 HP left on the flank. Snowell looking for the pick, does find Painkare, and that will, I mean, that keeps this fight going. Truthfully, it keeps them in the game. Extinction not ever out. Might be down. We can comfortably say down. It's fair to say down, but not out. Azure will have this grab on, I mean, significantly sooner, I would say, than Red X will have the beat. Red X coming up to 70, Azure 80. That beat is one of those longer ultimates it takes to get. Amadu still drifting their way around the corner, forces the OC from Snowell, and is it kiteable from the likes of Iliad Artemis, or can Extinction play off of it? And so far, Extinction just deciding to play slow, play cart. They know they need this Red X beat online. Marduk's also going to have this Curiel online. Both of these teams just pitter-pattering back and forth. Dust will just get absolutely cut down from that grab, and the follow-up has to be swift, and or the deaths have to be. I mean, something has to give. Extinction, I think, trying to go for the gambit of playing it. To my honest surprise, Iliad Artemis allowing them to live as well. Dust makes the return. Oh, they tried to cut Dust off. I see. Their brains are so huge. Marduk goes for the ultimate. Flumpy doesn't have that beat quite yet. Now has it, can use it when they need it, but the beat already used from Red X means that there's no reply. Dust will have the grab, so they could be saving it for that, but Faruski's ult will come at the same time as the beat engage. Amadu looks to go aggressive. Karma is, although they find one, it will still be themselves getting taken out. Now the ult from Karma comes out. Painkare matches it though, and that's going to be Karma's the one to die, but Dust finds the trade. Karma's and Dust in it to win it. The dynamic duo, the cart. Oh, Molt's getting pushed all the way, but Red X not only finds Marduk's, but finds their counterpart and Flumpy. A minute remain. Over 111 meters needed by Extinction. For Extinction cannot lose a fight. That is asking a lot. But if there is a team that can do it, it would be this team right here. The grab comes out. Azure cut. I mean, that's all there is to it. I mean, Azure just got deleted. Carbez cleaning up shop. The point and click adventure hero does their, I mean, they do work. They truly just do work. Karmaz and Snowell both mechanically insane players. So on the simple characters, I say simple, on the more mechanically simple characters compared to something like a Xion, I would say it is a bit more or Tracer is more mechanically needy. You're gonna have pop-offs easier, higher skill floor, yada yada yada. But Amadu dead, like we talked about. Insane mechanics from this Extinction squad. We've seen how good Amadu can be as well, and Azure getting cut down late actually is extraordinarily bad. Dust finding a late 3. Hey, say what you will, but when he shoots, he hits his 3s 100% of the time. Azure will have this ultimate online, but Red X has the beat. Not the meats. This isn't an ad. The beat. Red X has beat. And because of that, they'll have the ability to try and outlive the grab. The grab gets used. Faruski will go for the ultimate well. Dust barely living though. Will desperately need some more assistance. Flumpy building that other beat excessively fast, looking for an opening of their own, finds it, drops that beat, and it's gonna be Extinction struggling to survive here. Red X first to fall. Dust closing in on that grab. Same with Carmez's ult. Amadu 2% away from a grab of their own. The grab comes out. They're stuck on the other side. Amadu uses the ult, finds 1, finds 2. Dust and Faruski both down. Bad news bears as Amadu kills 4. It will be Extinction losing to Iliad Artemis 3-1. But holy, what a match. Insane from both of these teams. Absolutely absurd. Both teams showing, I mean, just how good they are, genuinely, wholeheartedly. But alas, it will be Extinction to just barely lose. I mean, it really did come down to that last fight too. So incredibly close. And that Iliad Artemis looking to be such a strong team so far. I mean, that win of Iliad Artemis puts them to 6-1. Extinction goes to 3-2. So it's not like it's bad looks for Extinction. Relative to Iliad Artemis, this Extinction squad is still inexperienced in terms of officials played. This Iliad Artemis core has been together almost as long, if not longer, I think just about as long as the old Amplify core that's now Grimoire. So, I mean, it is a lot of hard work, dedication, time put in, as well as just playing more officials so far in the season than the likes of Extinction. So not coping as so much. Look at the positive side of things. Look at the upsides. Not only are we not even halfway through the season, but still plenty of opportunity to learn, to overcome, to adapt, to keep moving forward. And speaking of moving forward, ladies, gentlemen, and gamers of all ages, that is just our first of 3 casts we have this fine morning, noon, evening, night, whatever it might be for you. We are going to be heading to a quick break. Just a 4-minute. I'm using the bathroom and importing codes and turning off the delay, and then ending the Extinction stream. It'll just be my stream going for these final 2 guests. So make sure you come over, hang out. It is truly going to be a blast of games. We have next up on the clock Tanuki versus the likes of Leica. It's going to be a fantastic matchup of these 2 teams. And don't forget that right after that, Lazarus Surge versus Exile Esports to cool us down. So I will see you just a couple of minutes over on twitch.tv/hyper the worst. If you just came for the Extinction cast, thank you very, very much. It genuinely means the world to me still. Whether you're here for a minute, second, hour, the whole time, thank you. I hope that you'll come hang out. I appreciate you very much either way, though. Next time you'll be seeing this Extinction squad will be both on Wednesday against Amplify, also 9 p.m. Eastern time, and on Friday against Ex Oblivione. Not an easy week for Extinction, but some banger matches ahead of us. So don't go anywhere. I will see you all in just a couple minutes time.